Hello, I'm Kevin Steele. I'm going to be your instructor for IT630 User Interface Design. This course is being run in both an online and an in-class model, so we'll discuss the course overview and syllabus review for both of those sections. I am currently serving the university as a distance learning and training consultant out of the Office of Information Technology. So that is my full-time job here at the university, but I also pick up the classes for fun on the side. My degrees, I have an EDS degree in Educational Technology and Instructional Technology, Master's of Education in Curriculum and Instruction, and a Bachelor's of Arts in Elementary Education. So I actually used to be a high school and middle school teacher for about 13 years, and I had about a 3-year stint in software support, in addition to custom report design for the same software company and training. So you'll notice that instructional pieces are kind of my forte, which lends itself very well to user interface design, which you'll see throughout. My contact information is here. There's my email. Email is preferred method of communication over the phone or text or anything like that. So always email. I'd usually check that throughout the evenings and the days. So that'll probably get your fastest response. My phone number is listed there to my office, 219-464-6930. As I said before, the email will probably be the quicker of the responses. My office hours are by appointment. So I would just ask that you schedule them in advance using the Google Calendar. You can use the Find a Time feature when scheduling to be sure that you're not scheduling over any of my previous appointments throughout the day. My Google Calendar is always up to date, so if you find an open slot in there, you can go ahead and schedule yourself in for half an hour or an hour time slot. My office is in Kretzman in the lower level in B36, so if you just list that as the location of the meeting, that would be helpful as well. There is a tutorial video located in the course tutorial section on the Schoology page, which will show you how to actually use that Find a Time feature, just in case you haven't used that before. As I just mentioned, Schoology, all your course materials and grades will be posted on Schoology. You must register for a student account at Schoology.com, and please use your Valpo email address, because then I'll use the group send from there to send course announcements and everything. I abandoned the data view course list pretty early on in the semester after the list has kind of settled itself out. There is a course code that will be included in the email where the link to this video is located. So please use that, as it changes from semester to semester, and the video doesn't necessarily always need to change. So the course code will be in the email, so use that when it prompts you to join the course. There is one other setting that you need to do. You need to change the time zone settings in Schoology. Otherwise, your assignments won't be listed for the correct times, which means your homework will end up late with a 25% reduction, which is coming up later in the video here. For questions on this, go to the Schoology tutorial in the course tutorial section on the Schoology page. So once you're in there, you'll see a course tutorial section, and you'll find a Schoology tutorial in there that will explain how to change those account settings for you. There is a required text for this course. It is the ISBN number is listed there for you. UI is communication, how to design intuitive user-centered interfaces by focusing on effective communication. I ask that you purchase this text very early on. A lot of your homework assignments and a lot of your references go back to this text. So trying to make it through will probably not work for you. If you decide you want to share textbooks with people and stuff, that is totally on you. But I find this actually really handy when we have even meetings in IT, and it's only semi-related to the user interface. So it will be a good guide for you later on. But please do purchase that text early if you haven't done so already. Attendance is mandatory. 2 missed classes are allowed without any type of penalty. After 3 absences, there is a 10% reduction in your final grade. Each additional absence, it starts at 3, so each additional absence, including the third, will be a 10% reduction. So on the 4th, it's a 20%. 5th, it's a 30% reduction. And that is after your final grade is calculated. I just subtract that round number 10 off of the top of the end score. If you are in the online section, obviously this does not apply to you, but I will email instructions out for course meetings. We'll meet face-to-face only a few times during the semester via WebEx, but I'll email that out to you in advance. But it is imperative that you do not miss the WebEx sessions if you can help it. The technology in class, technology used in class must be for class. So when you bring the computers in, if someone is speaking, they're closed. Just normal etiquette with that. Cell phone ringers are turned off. Those types of things. But also, make sure that you send a clear message to the colleagues around you what you're doing on the computer, even though I can't see them. So make sure you're sending the right message about your wherewithal to complete the work in class, especially since you'll be working in groups. So if you see people on social media sites and things during class and they're not supposed to be, you might not want to choose them as partners later on for the projects, only because they're showing what they're capable of doing and paying attention to. Late assignments will be reduced by 25% after the initial grade. So even just a few minutes late on Schoology, it'll get stamped as late, and it will be reduced by 25%. If it's over a week late, it will be worth 0. So exactly 7 days to the minute will be calculated for that. Late discussion posts, so it will have discussion posts. Those will be an automatic 0 because discussion posts are meant to be interactive. If they're turned in late, they can't be interactive because your classmates can't read them in advance. So make sure those are on time. The late assignment policy does not apply to those. Do not recycle work or papers that you've previously turned in classes. I love the idea of reduce, reuse, recycle. Unfortunately, not when it comes to your academic work. The idea is that you want to learn constantly and not take the lazy way out. And these will be caught by Safe Assign and given a grade of a 0. So there will be, and it will end in a report to the Honor Council as well. Your Valpo email address is your official means of communication. Check it out for announcements, and check it daily for announcements and changes to schedules. So if there's a class cancellation, it will come via email, those types of things. So make sure you're checking that on a regular basis. There are outside work requirements. Generally, it's 4 to 5 hours for every hour of in-class meeting time. So that is kind of the expectation that a lot of the learning actually takes place outside, but the times when you need the instructor is where we'll be working through that. So when you come to class, come with your questions, come with your discussion posts, in hand, and we can delve into those because those are the appropriate times to ask. I will have course materials, available for you during class, but I'm always up for the discussion and in making it an interactive class when we see each other. If you are struggling with any technology issues, lynda.com has an online resource library that's available 24/7. It's included in your tuition, and there are thousands of technology training topics, not even related to user interface design, but if you're struggling with how to use different types of software, you want to learn different types of coding skills or work skills, those are all there as well. So I suggest you check that out at valpo.edu/r/lynda. You'll log in with your username, your Valpo.net username and password. They'll pass you back to Lynda so that they can verify that you're a student at Valpo. That's included for free up until the time you graduate, so definitely use that resource. If you feel that you have a disability that might require accommodation, you may want to contact Sherry DeMick, the Director of Disability Support Services. Her extension on campus is 6956, so if you're outside of campus, it's 219-464-6956. In the event that you need support for a disability, that would be handled through her office, and she will contact me and let your other instructors know as well what type of accommodations we need to make. There's also academic support available through the Graduate Tutoring Lab, the Writing Center, the Language Resource Center, and Academic Success Center. There are more details about each of these posted in the syllabus. Also, please make sure that you've reviewed the syllabus. There is a syllabus quiz posted on Schoology, so you can take that within the first 2 weeks of class. It will be recorded as a score, counted in the discussion grade as well. So make sure you've done that. If you have any questions, please email me or make an appointment to see me, and we'll see each other on the first day of class. Thanks.
I have neither given
or received,
nor have I tolerated
others' use of unauthorized aid.
In essence, the Honor Code is basically a system that's established at the university where students agree to hold each other accountable and to act with honesty in all of the work that they do for the university. So it's basically vowing not to cheat, not to sort of try to skip the work that would be involved in being a student at Valpo University.
And the professor steps out of the room or doesn't police the action of the students because the student has agreed to this honor code. So when you step into a classroom at Valpo, when you take a test at Valpo, when you write a paper at Valpo, when you just merely participate in the student body at Valpo, there is a code of honor that the students themselves enforce, understand, police, and agree to. And that builds a sense of camaraderie and a sense of ownership of the university that I think is unparalleled to any university experience that I've been made privy to or participated in.
Here, there is a system in place to ensure that you have an opportunity to talk, to defend yourself. Okay, it's really unique. There are only a handful of schools that have student-led honor systems in the country.
I think the biggest value that the Honor Code brings to the university is that it says something about the students who attend here. It's not so much that we're keeping students from cheating, although that is what it's supposed to do. It says more about the work ethic that the students have themselves and that they're signing up to have. Basically what it means is that you're going to take responsibility for the work that you do and that you're going to show respect to your professors in doing it and also respect to your classmates by asking them to do the same thing. So it says a lot more about who we are as a community than just what we do as students.
The Honor Council is important at Valpo University because it guarantees the implementation of the Honor Code, which calls for issues of academic integrity. One of Valpo's long-based nicknames has been implementing a series of values-based leadership, and with that, the Honor Council implements that struggle with issues of integrity, of accountability, and of responsibility. And with the Honor Code and with the honor system, with the Honor Council, we know that that's going to remain in touch.
I think what has been most beneficial for me just being on the Honor Council is seeing the students who have really taken it seriously, who have had the courage to really kind of stand for what they believe in while they're doing their work and also to hold their other classmates accountable. It takes a lot of guts to do that, and it also says something again about the type of people that want to come to this university and want to be a part of this community.
The Honor Code has definitely helped me develop a lot as a student here at Valpo. Really going through classes knowing that my professors don't look down on me and don't look at me thinking that I'm going to cheat or that I'm dishonest. It really helps out with the learning process, and I can collaborate with my fellow students and feel like I'm not going to be looked down upon for that because there's a certain level of trust.
When you meet Valpo alumni, they can talk very cohesively and coherently about their experience at the school and what it meant to them and what the school itself meant to them. And what that all boils down to is sort of a common elan or spirit, and one of the components of that to me was the Honor Code.
The benefit of the Honor Code, I think, in the long run is that in your future life you won't have people who are constantly looking over your shoulder and making sure that you're doing, just kind of the right thing. And so the Honor Code is a good way for you to sort of practice and really assert yourself kind of independently for the first time out of high school.